Okay, so first up, the myth that water repels flies.
Oh, finally we're testing this one. I mean, this one's been going berserk on the fan site forever.
The myth being that if you want to repel flies from your property, you just hang a bunch of clear bags of water.
Clear bags of water, no additives, nothing else?
Nope, just water.
That's insane.
Tell that to the flies.
According to the fans, this is a no fuss, no buzz solution. Decking your house with bags of water will keep flies away. But could H2O alone really create a no-fly zone?
All right, well, this seems pretty straightforward to test. We get a room full of flies, we take 2 pieces of meat, put them on either sides of the room, hang a bag of water over 1 piece of meat, and see which ones the flies go to.
Okay, well, I have 2 questions. First of all, how many flies should we use?
We need a pretty big sample size. Let's start with 5,000.
Okay, here's a better question then. How are we gonna count them?
You know what? Flies don't live that long. I mean, we could just let them die naturally and then count them then.
Perfect.
Okay.
So to answer the fan furor, Tory creates a home for the flies, while Kari explains just why this idea might work.
Now, flies have prismatic vision, and since a bag of water is going to reflect and refract light, it will create a field of high optic flow, which is going to tell the fly that there's something in his way, essentially creating a bug lighthouse, warning it away from the rocky shores.
Flies have compound eyes consisting of thousands of lenses, which means they see a mosaic image of their surrounds. So the theory is the light refracted through the water is amplified, and this deters the flies.
Now, this fly box is made up of 3 equal compartments, sectioned off by trapdoors. Now, in the middle section, that's where we're gonna be holding our flies. And on the end sections, they're both gonna have a piece of meat. However, one of the sections is gonna have a bag of water. Then what we're gonna do is open up our trapdoors and see which piece of meat the flies go to. The one with the bag or the one without.
Yep, it's a simple plan, and with Tory's fly box complete, now all they need is...
So to put this myth to the test, we need flies, and a lot of them.
Look, Maggie!
Oh, God! That's crazy!
I've had nightmares like this. Now, the flies that we've chosen are common houseflies. Why have we chosen them? Well, we know that they're attracted to rotting things, particularly rotting meat.
Smell this.
Yeah, it's bad.
This would be like a buffet for Bear Grylls.
It's freaking me out.
They're just like cute little grains of rice that squirm around.
Oh, back off, back off, back off, back off.
All right, that's it. That's all the maggots. Let's close it up.
And with that, it's just a matter of sitting back and waiting 3 days for the maggots to metamorphosize into flies.
Come on, you filthy maggots! Get in there and grow! We need 5,000 healthy soldiers! Pronto!
Next up for the Bug Special is an uneasy rider myth.
All right, so what do we got?
Either of you ride motorcycles?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this next myth might bug you. The idea is that while riding a motorcycle, a collision with an insect could be fatal.
Like it flies in your eye and then you swerve out of control and crash?
Nothing that obvious. It's that the impact itself kills you instantly. You're gone before you crash.
Really? I guess. I mean, I've seen some pretty big insects.
Well, you need a better hobby.
Ooh, like building robots?
The story goes that this speeding biker was taken out by a bug strike. But does that fly in the face of physics, or could an insect impact really be deadly?
You know, I gotta say right off the bat, I'm a little skeptical about this one. I mean, I get the whole bug crashes into your face, you get distracted, you crash scenario, but killing you on impact?
All right, well then let's start by talking to a trauma specialist. Maybe there's a pressure point or a weak spot like the windpipe or the sternum that could create that kind of fatal result.
All right, that's a good idea. And then we'll figure out a way to ride a motorcycle into insects.
Okay, not it on the driving. Ew.
First up, a second opinion from trauma expert Dr. Trollin.
So Dr. Trollin, is there any area of the head or neck that is vulnerable to something like this?
Well, there's maybe one spot. There was a study done where they did different pressures on the different parts of the body. Forehead, 2,000 pounds. The chest, 400 to 4,000 pounds, depending on how old the person was. But there is one spot that's a little vulnerable, right here, cricothyroid area. Only 76 pounds of pressure.
So let's say we do find a bug that could cause this kind of force. how does that lead to death?
It's not the crush itself, it's the swelling afterwards. What happens is the swelling in the area of the throat closes off the air pipe, the trachea, and that's what causes you to die.
Right, so that weak spot means there could be something to this myth after all.
All right, so now we have all the information we need to go full scale. So now we're gonna need a motorcycle. And since we don't want to injure our motorcyclist, we'll get a sidecar. We need a force plate and some bugs.
So, the first insect we're gonna try is a common housefly. Now, if this doesn't work, we're gonna move on to this big guy. This is a cicada. Now, this guy should definitely do some damage.
To measure that damage, Grant's using the force.
So how do we know if our bug strike is fatal or not? Well, with the force plate that I'm building, here's how it works. This is a force sensor. When it gets compressed, it registers on the computer. There'll be one of these in each corner of the plate. When a bug comes along and hits the plate, and based on that information, we'll know if the bug was a deadly bug or if it just bounced off.
This is our motorcyclist. This is the guy who's gonna be crashing into our insects. First thing I need to do is cut his head off. That way we can attach our force plate where the head is.
With the force plate attached, the headless rider is complete, and it's time to hit the road.
Let's find out if these bugs are really lethal or not. So this is the plan. We have the motorcycle. The human simulate is inside the sidecar. Now all I need to do is drive the motorcycle and run the human simulate into the fly. Then we'll find out, does a fly have enough force to crush a human being's windpipe?
And because, let's face it, this seems like a long shot, Tory will drive the bike at its top speed of 85 miles an hour.
That's good right there.
His target, the fly, will be held in place by a string of spaghetti to combat the breeze.
We've talked to an expert, and the only chance that he believes of our bug creating some sort of fatal collision is if it hits the thyroid cartilage. Now, I'm looking at the mass of this tiny little fly. I just don't think there's a chance.
So will the tiny fly strike be enough to crush a cricothyroid? Well, now is the moment of truth.
Okay, Tory, stand by. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go! Looks like he's going fast.
He's right on target, 85 miles an hour. Whoa! 85 miles an hour, and it looked like he creamed that fly.
Yeah, that was a good hit.
It's no surprise to anyone that the impact obliterated the fly.
Did I hit it?
You nailed it.
All these years I've been saying Tory wouldn't hurt a fly.
But the astounding thing is just how much force the split-second fly swat imparted.
Look at that.
We have 10 pounds.
That is incredible. I mean, I didn't even think it was gonna register on the force plate.
I didn't think this myth had a chance at all, but that's an incredible result.
Yeah, it's nowhere near what we need for actual fracture of the cartilage in the neck, but it's a start.
The team is testing the tail of a motorcyclist who got slugged by a bug and bit the big one.
We just ran our first test. We hit the fly at 85 miles an hour. Whoa! It registered on the force plate, giving us 10 pounds of force. But that's not enough to crush a windpipe and kill a human being. You need somewhere around 76 pounds of pressure to do that. Now, we're gonna move on to the cicada. Now this could potentially give us that 76 pounds of pressure that we're looking for to make this lethal.
Weighing around 100 times more than the fly, they should get more bang for their bug.
3, 2, 1, go!
To find out, the exterminator guns the bike to 85 miles per hour.
Is it 85?
Right on target.
And that's pasta la vista, baby.
I think I got some cicada in my mouth.
The force of impact vaporized the cicada, spraying bug bits everywhere. But was it a lethal bug strike?
Okay, what's the result?
37 pounds.
What?
Wow, that's a lot of force.
Yep.
But it's not enough to kill you.
But it's halfway there. That's incredible from a bug.
Incredible is right.
I never really expected the cicada to be a fatal collision, but 37 pounds is really, really surprising. I mean, that's halfway to the minimum dynamic fracture load that it would take to crush a windpipe.
So if a 10-gram bug got 37 pounds of force, then to get the deadly 76 pounds, they're gonna need a bigger bug.
Look at this thing. Rah!
Luckily, they prepared one of those earlier.
The Goliath beetle, one of the largest insects on the face of the earth in terms of its bulk and its weight. They average about 4 inches long and can weigh up to 100 grams. They're indigenous to Africa, and if you're wondering, yes, they do in fact fly.
But you can't import these things live. They come all dried out. So I'm recreating our Goliath so that it has an exoskeleton, the right mass, and a nice gooey center so we get a splat.
For that, Kari took a mold of the Goliath beetle
Feel like I'm unearthing some sort of ancient dinosaur.
and then, using a polyurethane resin, replicated its outer shell.
Nice. Perfect exoskeleton.
Then the final step was to give the model some pudding guts.
That's bug guts. I actually do know what those taste like, thanks to MythBusters. Right now, my dried out Goliath beetle and the shell that we're using as a simulation have the same weight. They're both about 12, 13 grams. But we want these bugs to be live, so I'm adding guts to create the mass, the weight. We're gonna get 60 grams of bug guts into this guy. How weird is this?
Weird indeed, but since it's 6 times the mass of the cicada, perhaps the Goliath will prove fatal. You might say that it's crunch time.
2, 1, go!
One giant beetle versus a motorcyclist at 85 miles per hour.
Here he comes. Right on target.
Yep, 85 holding and...
Did you hear the sound it made?
Yeah, I think that could have been a kill. It went...
Covered in bug gut simulation.
Lisa's pudding.
It's tasty.
Ooh, it's really old pudding.
There's no doubt that the beetle hit with a thwack.
That's a cartoon splat!
Now that is a bug splatter.
But was that splat in the deadly force range?
Body just explodes. That's over 100 pounds of force.
Well, that's a lethal blow right there if it hit your windpipe.
After 3 bugs with 3 different masses, they've finally gotten the deadly impact of the myth at 85 miles per hour. But it's a 1,000,000 to 1 impact. And for the MythBusters, those odds are too high.
This myth is really starting to look plausible, but what we really need to find out now is, since we could get our 100-pound payload from this, what if we had higher speeds? What if the beetle hit somewhere else? I mean, it's more likely to hit your head or your chest, so can we cause instant death with the more likely scenario?
To test that, I think what we're gonna have to do is go to a much higher speed. Certainly much higher than we can get on the sidecar rig that we have right now.
But before the guys get up to speed, there's a swarm of flies to deal with. They're irritating, infuriating, and downright annoying. But can you repel flies with a bag of water?
So as you can see, our 5,000 flies have finally hatched. We have our very own swarm. And now it's time for our final experiment. Here's how it's gonna work. Box number 1 and box number 3 will each have a chunk of rotten meat in it to attract the flies. But only box number 1 will have a plastic bag filled with water. We'll open up the doors, let them go for an hour, then close them and count the flies.
Okay, now it's time to put our essence of attraction to either side of our fly box, which is going to be rotten meat, because flies like meat. But they love rotting meat. It's like catnip. There's a decomposing protein called cadaverine that it gives off this delicious smell to them that they just can't resist.
Ding, 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 chow time.
It smells so bad.
This putrid meat has been fermenting for 10 days, and with an identical amount in each chamber, it'll certainly attract the flies.
Let's see if this thing repels the flies.
They're sealed in.
Okay, 60 minutes with the doors open. Go!
Remember, because fly eyes consist of thousands of tiny lenses, supposedly the refraction of light through the water bag will be amplified and create a confusing obstacle.
So we just opened the trap doors inside the fly box to release the flies. Now, what do I think is gonna happen? I have a feeling once those flies smell that rotting meat, they're gonna go straight for it, and that bag of water is gonna do nothing to deter them.
Tory could be right. So far, the water bag is doing nothing to deter the flies from their fetid feast.
We do a lot of exciting things on the show. Explosions, guns, sharks. But believe it or not, will a bag of water repel flies is the most demanded myth on our website right now.
You asked for it, and here it is. But halfway through, it's looking dubious.
Look at that. Apparently, bags of water attract flies.
A quick time lapse, and 30 minutes later, the free-range feasting is up.
Now we can start counting flies.
Well, actually, not quite yet. They have to wait a week for the flies to drop like flies.
God, that's a lot of flies.
All right, let's clean them up and weigh them. All right. Here's a dirty job for you. I'm gonna have to say this is up there in the grossest things we've ever done.
Ew.
This is pretty disgusting.
With both sets of flies collected,
Time to get counted in the name of science.
it's time to weigh in on the water bag theory.
All right, so these are the flies from the compartment without water, and they weigh 20 grams.
All right.
Hey.
Well, these are the flies from the compartment with the supposedly fly repelling a water bag. All right, ready for the moment of truth?
Yep.
Oh!
35 grams. This one's busted.
It's not only busted, it's ridiculous.
Yep, looks like a bag of water does not work as a bug repellent.
Tell that to the fan site.
When it comes to a biker versus a bug, most people would back the biker. However,
We found out at the Alameda runway with our motorcycle that if you hit one of these Goliath beetles going 85 miles an hour and it happened to hit you in this tiny little spot right here,
That's over 100 pounds of force.
Well, that's a lethal hit right there if it hit your windpipe.
But you're more likely to hit the head or the chest, some area like that. Now, what would it take to make that lethal? Well, we're gonna do some experiments using much, much higher speeds to find out if that's a possibility. Now, for that, we're gonna need to build an air cannon.
Perfect. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right. So this is our Bugzooka. Now, at the heart of the Bugzooka is the Big Blaster, which is an integrated air tank and high-speed, high-flow air valve. We've used it before to accelerate a soccer ball to over 300 miles per hour.
look at the ladder.
And I think we killed the soccer ball.
You put your own tube on the end, and presto, you've got a Bugzooka.
It's a ladybug.
now armed with the Bugzooka. It's the final showdown for the biker versus bug.
Oh, it's a cute little bug of death. All right, what I'm doing right now is I'm lining up our bug tank so that we're hitting our target. But first, we're gonna take a few shots in front of the scale to make sure that we calibrate it correctly so that the bugs are flying at 120 miles an hour, which is not unlike what a motorcycle rider would be going.
Okay, this is Bugzooka, calibration test at 20 PSI.
Fire away. Let's see if we get 120 miles an hour.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
That looked like a nice hard hit.
120 miles per hour.
That might be a little overkill.
What do you say we dial it down?
And at 6.5 psi, they hit the bazooka butter zone.
Very, very close to 120.
That's in the range.
All right, I think we've got our pressure.
For the first test, at 120 miles per hour, Kari loads the Goliath Beetle inside a sabot to make sure he makes it out alive.
6.5 psi. We are ready to fire.
And remember,
The forehead, 2,000 pounds. The chest, 400 to 4,000 pounds.
so that's the deadly range they're looking for.
In 3, 2, 1. Now that was a splat.
Was that a lethal hit or what?
Yeah, it sounded pretty crazy.
Our 60-gram Goliath Beetle hits the force plate at 120 miles per hour. But was it a deadly strike?
285 pounds of force on that one.
So we just fired our bug out of our cannon at 120 miles an hour into our force meter. It gave us 285 pounds of force. Now we know that would be a lethal hit if it hit you in the throat. However, it would not be lethal if it hit you in the head or the chest. So now it's time to move on to the ridiculous. We're gonna fire our bug at 200 miles an hour. That is the fastest known motorcycle ever ticketed. Let's see if that is enough to kill you.
Ridiculous is right. And depending on how you look at it, this is either a best or a worst case scenario.
Ready to fire at 10 psi.
At 200 miles an hour, the fastest recorded speed that anyone's gotten a ticket on a motorcycle.
3, 2, 1.
Wow! Oh my God! Wow!
Look at that splat.
I don't know about you guys, but that might have been lethal.
It's an incredible impact at an incredible speed. But can we call this souped-up bug deadly?
So at 200 miles per hour, direct hit, 558 pounds of force.
I mean, that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. I mean, your chest can take so much more. That is the worst case scenario. Bottom number is 400. So this is really unlikely.
Yeah, and we are giving this myth the best possible chance, and it's still coming up barely plausible. But I think we need to call it plausible because if it did hit you in the throat, it could kill you.
I mean, that's what all the best myths are based on. Really unlikely circumstances all aligning perfectly to create a really good story. So, plausible.